Hello Taurus, welcome to this reading. We are going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Taurus for the end of October. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and feel free to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Taurus, let's go ahead and get into this reading here for you, where we'll be taking a look at the end of the month, at the end of October. Now, the timeline on this reading will be from October 27th all the way until November 5th. The reason I chose November 5th is that is actually the full moon in Taurus, in your sign. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get all of the cards out here, get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. Okay, so I think this is looking just about good enough to me. Taurus, you have a really nice set of cards here, but energy on the bottom, you do have the Justice card. And, you know, the Justice card, it may say that during this period of time, you are really looking to achieve some level of balance in your life, in your situation in some way. The Justice card is sort of it's the card of Libra, but it can also be around like truth and honesty. Sometimes I think of this sword as like a sword of truth, you know, in one's life. Swords can represent communication and also this idea of cutting and severing something out of one's life. But it is a card of karma as well. And so really karma is just the accumulation of one's actions. And so when you see the Justice card, it could also talk about like your choices and the decisions that you've made up to this point as well. So let's see here how this kind of relates to the rest of the reading. And sorry if you do hear the dog in the background there, Taurus. Seems like there's something going on outside. But with that, let's get into this here. So you have it seems like some messages for love and romance, as well as some messages for career and finance. I will try to do my best to bring in both of those timelines for you. Right away in the middle, you have the Ten of Cups, and the Ten of Cups would be a major card of happiness in the tarot. I like this for you, Taurus. The Ten of Cups is like the highest vibration of the suit of cups. So it can mean that you are experiencing some level of overwhelming happiness, overwhelming joy. It's a good card for family energy. It is also an abundance card because the family always owns the home in the background there. And so I do associate this card with real estate. But I have a sense that some of you are maybe looking to achieve, Taurus, work-life balance between now and like within the next 2 weeks, right? As we close out this month of October and we roll into November here, I think that some of you are looking to achieve kind of general balance between work, between life, in relationship, in, you know, other areas of your situation here. I do think that that's going to be pretty key for you. Now, I do want to give you a PSA that I've been giving everybody, and that is if you have a task, like a really important task, or you have something that you need to complete, it's going to be best to complete it between now and, let's call it, November 5th. The reason being is on November 9th, we have the final Mercury retrograde of the year. And so we have a kind of a perfect pocket of time where if you need to do something, it will go pretty smoothly right now. It doesn't mean you can't do it after the 9th, but it'll just be much easier to do it now. So there's your public service announcement for the astrology that's coming up here, and you've kind of got a perfect window of time to get things done right now. So let's see here. Let's build on this reading even more. Let's take a look at this first column. You have the Five of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, and the Lover's card. All right, so in the past here, it does seem like you had maybe some sort of like loss or struggle that you may have gone through. I don't think it was like a year defining or, you know, situation. Like I don't think it defined your year. I don't think it was like a dramatic situation because of all of the positive influences of the cards here on the board. But the Five of Pentacles, it may indicate that you were out. You were feeling down and out about something, like you were feeling like you were out in the cold about something, you were feeling like you lost something, or my idea here for you is that it's more of a feeling. Okay, it's more of not just even a feeling. Actually, what I should say is it's a thought. Okay, this upper row is the row of your thoughts. And so you may have had some negative mindset towards something here that is showing up in the cards. Some of you, I think, have experienced in the past struggle in terms of struggle in this way, which is that you are earning money, but the money that you earn, it feels like you have to fight and kick and claw and scream for every dollar, right? Like something like that here. And actually, even in this tarot deck, the Taurus sign is associated with this Five of Pentacles card in particular. So here you are, right, in this, at least right away here, in this reading. And it seems like I don't necessarily feel loss, okay, as I look at the Five of Pentacles, certainly not financial loss because of the other cards here. In fact, I think it's more so having to fight for every dollar, this sort of thing. And this is where I think we're getting into the heart of the reading, which is that you are looking to achieve balance, okay? And what that might mean for you is that there's an offer or opportunity here in career that presents itself to you. And this offer or opportunity may allow you to achieve or attain balance in a way that you have not previously experienced. Okay, the Page of Wands is the biggest card that I find around a job offer. For people seeking employment, this is the card you want. Okay, absolutely. Page of Wands, Five of Pentacles, for sure. And, with this combination, actually, this may mean that you've been in a period of no job and now there's an offer opportunity here. Now, this is showing up in this past column, but it does seem like you had a choice here because the Lovers, outside of a deep relationship with someone, the Lovers, it represents an important choice in life. So in the past year, I see that you have had it seems like pretty decent choice to make as it relates to your career and your financial situation. And I think part of the biggest factor here is, will this offer opportunity lead me to some level of balance? And if so, I'm going to think pretty hard on that offer or opportunity. Now, for the people in relationships, I guess the one message here is that there's really only one message here that I'm seeing, which is that you may have previously struggled in certain areas in a relationship, and you had a choice to maybe make some changes there for you and for the other person with the Lovers, Page of Wands, and the Ten of Cups. And it seems like there's an opportunity for that to kind of be on the upswing for you, okay? It seems like that based on this reading. I am getting that this person might have been a fire sign. This might have been Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. Okay, maybe heavily more so tilted towards Sagittarius, but or Aries actually as well. You have both of those cards. But yeah, that's also something I'm going to throw out there. Now, in the middle, you have the Temperance card, the Ten of Cups, and the King of Wands. Okay, ultimately, I think this is now making a lot of sense to me. At the beginning, I wasn't entirely sure, but I did know that you have really good cards here. And the Temperance card is healing. It is balance. It is patience. It's moderation. It is also alchemy. Okay? And what I see that you have a real opportunity to do here is to sort of create alchemy in your life. Now, how do we take that and how do we apply that to the real world? Well, if you look here, this person, the angel on the Temperance card, they are mixing and combining elements here in the pot, all right? And so if you take that and you apply it to the real life, I think that you have an opportunity here to take your skills, take your experience, take your abilities, and take your desires, combine all of those, and go in a direction that is more balanced for you, okay? I think you have an opportunity to sort of create alchemy for yourself here, okay? Because again, I don't see loss. I don't see that you financially were struggling. What I see here is that the pursuit of each dollar that you earned was a struggle, Does that make sense? Hopefully you have an idea of what I'm communicating on here, because like there was no balance in what you were doing previously. And with the 10 of Cups, this represents some level of big happiness in life. In addition, you have the King of Wands, which is the classic entrepreneur of the tarot. Okay? And I think that if nothing else here, you have pretty strong optionality. And you may even be in a position to create a dream job or a dream scenario for yourself here. Okay? And this will be something that you sort of make for yourself. How does that look? Well, if you want to be self-employed, it could mean that you start, a YouTube channel, or you start some sort of business, right? That's going to be so different for everyone. But if you are not interested in self-employment, this might mean like reaching out to your network. This might mean, creating the perfect resume. This might mean, just simply finding the perfect opportunity on LinkedIn, or through someone or whatever the case. Like, you have this ability to create something here that is more in career alignment with where you want to be going. Okay? Because what you really want is moderation and balance. Okay? Because what I see is an overdoing of a scenario here. What I see is like the struggle for each dollar that you are earning or making. Okay? Yeah, and that being kind of an uphill battle for you. Now let's take a look at this final column. You have the Nine of Wands, the Emperor, and the Three of Pentacles. Okay, and the Emperor is a card that really indicates success in business. It's a card of leadership and authority, and somebody who has found quite a bit of success in life. It's a very, very positive message when you see the Emperor in a tarot reading. Okay, in addition, you have the Three of Pentacles here, which would indicate that you have, the Three of Pentacles. It can be a number of things. It can mean that you have, you are building on progress. It is a card of talent as well, and somebody who's kind of like a builder in the tarot. You can see that the people here are building out the plans. They're laying out the plans. They've built this statue in the background. They're making a new one. It's also a card of your colleagues, the people that you work with. So I do think that there's actually a networking opportunity somewhere here for you, Taurus, during this time. I also see that you might be in a position to be leading a group. You might be in a leadership position, or this may be on the table for you in some way, shape, or form here with the Emperor and the Three of Pentacles. If you are not in that position, you may actually be coming across in a favorable light with somebody who is, your superior, so to speak, in the workplace. I think that you will actually benefit quite a bit by, the term is not socializing, the term is networking. Like, working with others could actually be quite beneficial for you during this period of time. And the Nine of Wands, it can represent like something being like a struggle or hard, but that you are very close to completion. It can also, for that reason, be like, it can show up as like resistance as well in the tarot. But I want more details, so let's go ahead and let's move into the clarifications portion of this reading. I'll go ahead and pull some oracle cards, and then I will also pull some tarot cards for you. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Energy on the bottom, you do have Gabriel, Divine Emergence. It's time to be seen. Don't be afraid of your power and gifts. Yeah, definitely that is showing up. This idea of like alchemy here, being very present for you, the ability to use your power and gifts to create exactly what you want at this time is, based on the cards, very possible. Let's take a look at these three first. Okay, you have Sandalphon, building the bridge. Your role is to create a connection between heaven, earth, and all hearts. You have Metatron, heaven to earth. Your current situation is in alignment with your mission on earth. And then you also have Ariel, sacred activist. Protect what is right and just. Let love lead the way. Okay. I want to get more info from these cards, because these are not speaking to me as much. You have Michael, spiritual acceleration. You are experiencing spiritual upgrades and move forward, as well as hope, authentic reclamation. It's time to call back all the lost parts of yourself. That card makes a lot of sense to me. Authentic reclamation. So the idea is that if you are spending so much of your time, energy, and focus on every single dollar, you are kind of taking yourself out of something, right? It's sort of like you are making a bit of a sacrifice, right? You are sacrificing your time, energy, and effort for every single, cent or dollar earned. And that is creating an imbalance, okay? It's hard to be like sort of authenticity is not the right word, but I like this idea of it's time to call back all the lost parts of yourself, because in doing that, you are kind of losing a part of yourself, right? Because you are giving your whole self to something, which it depends on the scenario, right? Like sometimes it is good to give your whole self to a person or to a, something. Somebody you are very, very dedicated to, for example, in love, or a job or a career or a business that you're very dedicated to. But I get the sense that this is something you want to change. Okay, so let me see if I'm right about this. Let's go ahead and let's move into the tarot cards here. And let's pull some tarot cards for you. Now, Taurus, I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I do hope things are going well for you. Okay, you have the Ten of Swords. You have the Ten of Cups. Wow, double tens, actually triple tens, because you also have another 10 there. And you have the Five of Cups. Okay, Ten of Swords, Five of Pentacles. You can go two ways with this. I'm going to go with the positive way because we have positive cards around it. The positive thing here is that it is the end of struggle. Okay? The Ten of Swords, it represents a deep ending in life. And something that there's like finality associated with it, right? Like it's over. The door's shut. It's not opening back up. Okay? And you have that with loss or struggle, which is the Five of Pentacles. And I'm going to use that because I like what is around those two cards here, okay? And I like what is in this reading. The Ten of Cups is really about, we already talked about it, it's overwhelming happiness here. And you have it with an opportunity that seems to want to appear for you with this Page of Wands, okay? So the kind of universe, the card, which is speaking through the cards here, you could say, wants you to investigate the opportunities that are present. And I would say that, there's no wrong choice, but I would say that there could be quite a bit of happiness that comes along with that. And you're kind of being given the green light to investigate what is out there. And I think more importantly, to alchemize something that is really in alignment with you. You have the Five of Cups, which can indicate like depression or sadness in life. This is showing up around a choice that you have to make, either in love or in life, right? Which is the Lover's card. So let's break that down further. You do have the Page of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. Page of Pentacles, King of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. Okay, so you do have a number of people showing up here. Two kings at least, with the King of Swords and the King of Wands, and then two pages, okay? And so pages, it can represent messengers or messages in the tarot. In other words, communication, right? Communication, and offers and opportunities. You have a great combination for that here with the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. I do see that there is a real career opportunity that wants to present itself. I'm not entirely convinced that like what it looks like, other than for some you're really interested in self-employment and for some you're not. So you're in one of those two camps. You really are. Here. What I would say is with the King of Swords in the middle, this is also an energy of balance. Okay, this is the King of Swords could be described as somebody who is a fair leader. Okay, this is somebody who does not play favorites. This is somebody who's very good at kind of like being egalitarian, somebody who tries to be very objective in their ruling. And what I would say is this is more so showing up as an aspect of yourself, Taurus. Okay, this is showing up as an aspect of yourself. So there is something that you need to get real with within yourself here that is showing up in the cards. Okay, very clearly here on the board. And I would even say that the King of Swords can indicate clarity, okay? So finally, the Nine of Wands, it represents resistance, which we had up here again. The King of Wands is not just an entrepreneur, but the King of Wands is also a leader in business. And while the King of Swords leads from a place of fairness, the King of Wands leads from a place of passion. Okay? So I get a sense that you have something that you are very passionate about, as you have the Page of Wands and the King of Wands. And whatever you were doing here in the past is over because you weren't passionate about it, but it kind of paid the bills. Like it kind of got the job done. But you weren't passionate about it and it felt like a struggle. Okay. There's some real resistance showing up around there. And there's a real ending that wants to emerge from that space. You have the King of Cups, you have the Ace of Pentacles, and you also have the Ace of Wands. Okay, so double aces at least, yeah, double aces and double, like actually triple kings. We've got a bunch of tens, triple tens at least, and double pages. So we've got a lot of like the repeating themes here that want to emerge in this reading. I even see with the Ace of Wands, there's actually a lot going on here in my mind as I'm looking at this, but the King of Wands and the Ace of Wands is the entrepreneur combination. So I do think I'm right about this, which is there are a number of you that are very curious and interested in like what does it look like if I work for myself or if I somehow create a little bit of like autonomy for myself. And keyword there is create. Because I talked at the beginning of this reading, you have the ability to alchemize, in other words, create something for yourself. And you have a real launch pad here during this period of time, okay? And with this Ace of Wands and the King of Wands, it's there. The issue is there's a little bit of resistance here with the Nine of Wands, and there's also, you could also, though, at the same time, be resisting this because you're very close to making it happen. Like you're at that final home, like that final home stretch in this timeline for yourself, and you're kind of at the hard part now. Now, there's even like a timeline here where some of you are partnering up with a colleague on this project or on this business, as you have the Three of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Pentacles here can represent some sort of like planting of a seed in one's life as well, and hopefully that seed blossoms and grows into something big. It's a very good card for new beginnings, especially when you combine it with another ace. Finally here, the King of Cups is, this is somebody, you have the three kings here, right? You have the three kings. The King of Cups, we've broken down the King of Swords and the King of Wands. King of Cups leads from the heart, right? And this is somebody who's very capable of withstanding any sort of like emotional drama or emotional challenges that may be placed on their plates. So more importantly, the King of Cups is about your intuition. I would say that that's going to be a really strong guidepost for you. You have the Two of Cups on the bottom, which does represent partnership. I haven't really talked about love because this kind of took a career, kind of took on a career path for you, career path kind of reading here. But the Two of Cups here in the in the career timeline, that would be a double confirmation for me that some of you are going to end up partnering with someone in business or in some way, shape, or form, especially as you have the three kings, okay, and the double pages. There may be support there. I'm just not getting anything about the love story, even though the Two of Cups is the perfect love card, and you do have the double Ten of Cups as well, which, it does, I did say at the beginning of this reading that seems to be on the upswing, and I will say that with that Two of Cups, that would definitely be a confirmation of that. If you're in a relationship here and things have just kind of been a little dicey, you're going to take some action where that is improving. Either that means staying with the person or not. Let's see if the Kipper cards have a message for you there. You do have change and lovers. Okay, so that might end up being a change in that situation. You have the house, adjudication, and high honor. Yeah, you are in a, let's see here, occupation. You're married to your job, that is for sure. You are definitely married to your career with marriage and occupation. I felt that as I was reading the Five of Pentacles, like how every dollar can feel like a struggle for some people. And it means that you work very hard for what you get. And that has created some level of imbalance here for you. And maybe that has had an effect on relationships in your life, which is exactly what I was kind of trying to say here at the beginning of this reading. And so I see that you are really, really married to what you do in terms of career and in terms of business. I also see that some of you may end up working from home. And what I would also say is that with the High Honor card, you're in a very strong position. Okay, like people really view you as somebody who's knowledgeable, somebody who can, who is very serious about their work. You may even be decorated in your work. So you do have toil and labor. There it is, right? That is the Five of Pentacles energy. All right, Taurus, thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.